Minister, Dame Harriett Baldwin.
Thank you very much, Dr Murison. It's an absolute honour to serve under your chairmanship this afternoon. And can I congratulate my honourable friend from Spelthorne for securing this debate, and take this opportunity to welcome the honourable lady from Halifax to her position as a minister. And I believe that this is her first opportunity to contribute from the dispatch box, so something that I heartily congratulate her for her achievement. We've had a very interesting debate. I thought my honourable friend set out very clearly some of the issues from the perspective of his constituency with the Employment Rights Bill. And then I heard the complete opposite view from the member for York, who inexplicably has not been, as I understand it, readmitted into the bosom of the Labour Party. I hope it's going to be imminent, because she put across the governing party lines very clearly. But I do think, Dr Murison, that what we have to focus on is that the clue in today's debate is in the name, which is employment. And today's data that we saw from the labour market, I think, was sobering and really does need to act as a wake-up call to this Labour government, because we've seen that employment on payrolls has actually fallen by 142,000 people. 142,000. That is more than any of our constituencies contain, and it has seen declines in every quarter, and it's not a blip. Sadly, it's a trend, and it's happening on this government's watch, and it's happening because of measures such as the Employment Rights Bill and because of the job tax. We're also seeing that vacancies are falling. So my first question to the Minister is, how does she reconcile this with Labour's mission to deliver economic growth? Does he wish to deny the facts in terms of the Office for National Statistics employment?
Please don't try to shape the terms of my intervention. But if she's saying that she's talking about the impact of the Employment Rights Bill, is it yet enacted? How can that be so?
I'm glad he anticipates the rest of my contribution, because has he read the impact assessment that the Labour government have put out for this bill? It actually places an estimate of the cost on businesses of £5 billion. And I asked the honourable member, how does he think that will end up? It's not going to end up with a hiring spree, I can assure him. So it's against this background of rising unemployment. What is the government's answer? It is, as we see with the legislation that we debated last night, more regulation, more costs, more pressure on employers through an employment rights bill, which I believe should be more aptly called an unemployment rights bill. So what assessment has the Minister made of the impact of today's rising unemployment, slowing job creation numbers on those who really need their first chance in employment, particularly the young, particularly those who are entry level, particularly those who need an employer to take a chance on them? Because if the government is serious about making work pay, it must stop making it harder for businesses. It's making it harder for businesses to hire, to invest and to grow. And I believe the British people deserve better than a shrinking jobs market and a government who has clearly let the trade unions take the wheel. Because yesterday, the government chose to vote down all the amendments that had been agreed in the other place. They voted to reject the requirement to consult on small businesses about the impact of this bill. They voted against reinstating the requirement for the trade unions to choose to opt into the political fund. This bill changes it to an opt-out. It's a vote for endless trade union payments, and I hope that the Minister, when she gets to her feet, will declare her interest as far as contributions to her election campaign from the unions. Yesterday we saw the government vote against the reinstatement of a 50% of trade union member threshold for voting for industrial action. I'm afraid that is a vote for more strikes. So how can the public trust that this employment rights bill serves the national interest when over 200 Labour MPs have taken millions from the unions? The bill appears to prioritise union access and strike powers over the much desired economic growth. I've mentioned that the government's own impact assessment says that it's going to be a £5 billion cost to business, and the Prime Minister's new economic advisor, Ninoush Shafiq, has admitted that Labour's employment rights bill will lead to fewer jobs. We don't need to just listen to her. The National Farmers Union has warned that the bill ignores the seasonal nature of agricultural work. The UK Cinema Association has said it's no exaggeration to say that this bill will bring the viability of some operators into question. The Institute of Chartered Accountants in England and Wales have highlighted the risk to small businesses. It's all but guaranteed, they say, that small businesses will adopt more risk-averse recruitment practices in response if they're confident taking on any new talent at all. And so my heart goes out, and the member for Spelthorne made this point passionately, to all of those people who need an employer to take a chance on them, the people who are perhaps a little bit more risky to take on into their organisations, and the people who really need someone to give them that chance, possibly their first chance. An employer who is exceptional in this regard is one that is well known, a large employer called Mighty. They warn of the higher costs and the tribunal pressures. The right to unfair dismissal will cripple smaller organisations, and they add it is crucial that the government permits some flexibility for employers that need to adapt to fluctuating demand. These are not fringe concerns, Dr. Murison. These are the voices of employers across agriculture, culture, services, finance, who are united in their message that this employment rights legislation will make it harder to hire, harder for the country to grow, and harder to serve the public. And the Labour government's refusal to listen to these voices is not just reckless, it is simply ideological, and I think we heard some of that in this afternoon's debate. The bill is not about improving rights, it's about empowering the paymasters, the unions, and punishing enterprise. And so what I can say to the country is that under Conservative leadership, we will stand with business, we will grow jobs, and we will deliver growth in the overall economy, because that's the only way to build a stronger, fairer economy that gives an opportunity to everyone.